Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Forge of Champions. We just had a pretty stellar game one coming out from MNM as they single-handedly, they convincingly beat out Phelan there. But we are still in a best of three. There's still a lot more to go. So we'll have to see how Phelan can kind of come back in game two, or it's then done here at Forge.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the ideas they wanted to go for, but there were issues. Obviously, the Malphite in the mid lane meant they had issues early levels. It gave a lot of pressure over the side of MNM. And then, to be honest, even ignoring compositionally, they just didn't execute well. The team fights weren't as good as we'd hoped. They wasn't crisp. The synergy wasn't there. The coordination wasn't there. Just a couple of issues that they need to pick up.
Yeah, we're going to have to see if they can come back with that coordination because, like you said, there were things like, you know, the big team fight where they found that opening, but then the Xayah wasn't there. So it looked good, but it went, wow, that's flashy, but there's no damage to follow up at this point. So we are heading into picks and bans. MNM this time are on that blue side and Phelan on the red. Instant Pantheon ban coming out from MNM. They don't want to be dealing with that, don't want to be playing it apparently either.
Well, which is pretty advantageous because Pantheon is a red side ban. It's something that you have to ban because it's, as I said, 100% presence at World, 100% ban rate in the group stages. It's so strong. This is MNM saying we can't play it. So it's essentially just giving over a ban to the other side. Phelan gonna ban away that Akali. To see what else they're gonna look to take away. We'd see them ban away the Akali, the LeBlanc, away from the side of MNM. This is similar bans from MNM, which these are red side bans to me. That is the thing I'm going to highlight. It's yes, they're the same bans, but normally you would ban Pantheon and Yuumi on red side because they are so powerful, you don't want to give them over to the other side. Here, this is MNM saying either they're not comfortable on them or they feel like these are specific to Phelan. Beartree has played a lot of the Pantheon. Jeppe has played a lot of the Yuumi, but to me, I feel like there is a degree of Shogun has played Yuumi. I feel like the Pantheon should be something playable by all of MNM, or at least only Angel and Chibs. But either way, this is the direction they've gone. They are going to ban away the Syndra. So these are the same bans from MNM. Phelan have shaken up a bit by banning away that Kiana.
Question is what do Phelan want to ban away now? What's their last ban here? Because MNM, they've stuck to pretty much the same bans. They stuck to the same bans. I'm going to take over that Gragas. We did see that ban come out from Phelan in last game.
LeBlanc is the difference maker. So LeBlanc's been left open. Kiana's been taken away. That is the difference here. And now MNM, they're going for the first pick Veigar. So they were confident.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, that's the point to make. And it means that Phelan, under normal circumstances, would love to go Xayah Rakan in this rotation. It's not going to be possible, though, because we saw they weren't willing to take the Rakan into the Veigar because of how well the pick goes. And even if they pick up the Xayah, Chu had a very rough time in that last game. The question is going to be, what are you going to take into this? What is your answer going to be? Because they have to think quickly. Looking towards the Ezreal for a Chu, a much safer pick. Obviously, that cage doesn't do very much against an Ezreal. Even if the cage is set, you can dash out. And Soft, he's going to pick up the Lee Sin and deny that from Nulty.
Key thing here, though, is the Pike has been left open. So if Shogun wants to get his hands on that now, he can lock that in because last time Phelan took it away. They picked it, didn't go for the Rakan Xayah, they went for the Pike Xayah. This time MNM, they can lock that in and maybe pick themselves up a jungler, something that can match that Lee Sin early, or they get Chips as LeBlanc.
Just as I was going to say, I think you have to take the LeBlanc, otherwise it will be banned in the next rotation. They opt not to look towards supports. They go for Olaf, very typical of Nulty. They go for LeBlanc, very typical of Chibs. Yes, they don't have the Pike as an option, but they're actually happy to do this. They feel like the Veigar alone is strong enough. They won't have the extra mobility from the Thresh. They won't have the synergy with the Pike, because that's what I expect to see from Phelan. But the issue is, we saw how much Only Angel took over games on the Camille. So Phelan's in a really tough spot here. They are actually looking towards a Lissandra pick, which is something that was buffed recently. Gets some extra AP ratios on the passive on the W. Again, a great team fighter and a good matchup into LeBlanc. But now, the next phase. So the 4 picks that could potentially be issues are the Fiora, the Camille, the Thresh, and the Pike. The thing with the Fiora is I feel like you're not going to blind it. So that might be a safe one. But we've seen Only Angel blind the Camille before. So you have to be hesitant. They are going to go for the Camille. That means Thresh and Pike are still open. So Shogun will be able to get one of those. Unless the plan may be from Phelan for them to say ban the Thresh, pick the Pike in their first pick. Because that would deny both of them.
Either or, they can do that. But that also leaves that Fiora open, but was picked up for Only Angel and also like banned away.
Fiora is more counterable.
Yes,
to me. I feel like that's the thing. Maybe they'll go into a situation where they're not confident against it. But I guess we'll just have to see. Nautilus going to be banned away. Pretty strong solid pick. And obviously that ult is a massive threat to the Veigar. And the question is, I feel like the Fury have answers to. And you can also counter pick it yourself. Also, although Only Angel has shown he'll blind pick the Camille, less likely for your Fiora. I think you ban the Thresh, pick the Pyke if that's the direction you want to go. Ezreal's safe in a solo lane, and it means the Pyke can roam. They're actually going to ban the Pyke. Could pick up the Thresh themselves, but my issue with the Thresh in this matchup is against a Veigar. If your flash is down, all you have to do is throw the cage. Yeah. And as soon as that happens, you're vulnerable. You don't have the mobility, the safety the Pyke does. Braum going to be banned away. The question is going to be, will Phelan pick up that Thresh? You saw Jeppe have a great game on it 2 weeks ago. It was Thresh and Yuumi that he played in his debut on the roster. Has to be a support pick here, I feel, in my opinion.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see. They've got 10 seconds left before they have to lock that pick in. Phelan definitely being slow with his pick and bans. They're thinking about what they want to go for. They're going to lock in that Rakan, and this just means that Fresh is all but free here for MNM if they want to get their hands on it.
And this is weird to me. I'm going to just straight up say it because they weren't willing to take the Rakan. But maybe the thought process here is that Ezreal has mobility, so you can use your mobility in tandem with him. If he dashes away, you can dash to follow him. But still, the big issue with Rakan into the cage off the Poppy, the cage off the Veigar is that it will block the mobility. But Poppy's come up as well, and this is likely going to be a Poppy support.
Oh, okay.
So this is a matchup I've actually played quite a bit recently, the Poppy into the Rakan. It is actually pretty tricky to use the W in time for the W of the Rakan, because you can't use it when he's at the end of the jump. And the dash speed from which he goes from the start of the dash to the point where he knocks you up, obviously there's a little delay before you actually get knocked up, but you have to W in that moment. So it is a matchup you can play and counteract the Rakan, but there is a lot of skill involved in it, especially if the Rakan can bait out the Poppy's W. But the reason it's different in this matchup is because with Poppy Veigar, you have to think about it this way. Poppy pops a W. You can't engage. In that time, Yusa can place his cage and it will, form. And you then also can't engage. So I feel like you pick the Rakan for that insane engage potential. This lane together, not either pick on its own, but both those picks together actually shut that down pretty significantly. So Jeppe is going to have a rough time in this situation. Now we sort of have
also
to take
other things they can kind of deny with that Poppy as well.
Yeah.
The ganks from Soft.
It's good in Lee Sin.
Yeah.
It is good in Lee Sin. Everything else, not so much. Into Lissandra, Ezreal, and the Poppy, not too effective. And this is definitely a matchup where Yusa and Shogun are looking to play defensive. Once again, I'm looking towards the mid jungle. Olaf and LeBlanc, really strong, but I feel like the difference here is Phelan have drafted to give themselves something that can match the pressure. Lissandra, Lee Sin, really strong at level 3. Lissandra's a good matchup into the LeBlanc. Olaf, yes, he can do well into the Lee Sin, especially with sustained damage and the fact he can heal up. But if you get him low enough, you can burst through him. So I expect to see Phelan's mid jungle give us the matchup we wanted, go toe-to-toe. Bot lane, I think, is going to be a non-factor this game, unless other lanes bring the pressure there. Because 2v2, I don't see anything really happening here.
And the jungle mid was what we talked about at the beginning of this series, was what we wanted to see from Soft and Nulty, combining up with their with their mid laners and looking to impact the map there. This is the opportunity, especially when you got that LeBlanc. If you're MNM, if you're Nulty, you want to get that LeBlanc freed up so she can move towards this bot lane and kind of alleviate it from being a non-factor and put it back into Yusa's shoes, because that was the first time in a long time we've seen Yusa really take over of a game. And it was on the Veigar. He's got it again as we take to the Summoners Rift for game 2 of the series.
That's the thing. If you bring the Lissandra down post 6, then there is dive pressure realistically onto Yusa and Shogun. It is a bit tricky to execute, but there is potential. And I think Achu has sort of heard what we're saying with regards to it's going to be a no-pressure lane. Actually opting to go for the cull on Ezreal, so he completely sees this lane as it's going to be a farm lane. There's not going to be too much pressure coming out from either side. I think the one thing is that Ezreal normally gives up lane priority, but because Rakan has a bit more shoving power than the Poppy, because you can obviously use your range advantage, and then as well, the Veigar has really weak shoving power.
Yeah.
Achu and Jeppe playing Ezreal Rakan should actually have a decent ability to shove these waves in. Whereas normally, if you pick a lane like that, you are sacrificing priority. But the big thing to highlight, we've talked a lot about bot lane, is again, this jungle mid matchup. We see the aftershock from Chimera, so he's going to be able to survive against the burst of Chibs, but it's going to come down to how much the junglers can influence this matchup. Both mid laners are pretty safe. You know, they have ability to get in, but they can also use that to get away. The question is going to be, will junglers be able to capitalize on that? Because if an overcommit comes in, a counter gank could be key for either side.
We'll have to keep our eyes on that. Nulty doing a pretty standard Olaf start here. Going low, getting the extra attack speed and sustain to keep himself in the lane. As both of the junglers actually did start on a ward, so they were spotted out, but Soft looks like he's going for a full red side clear, which does mean he'll have the XP advantage over Nulty. As Nulty is going to bypass his wolves at this point and just try and... Oh, no, he's not. He's going to do his wolves, and then he's going to go bot side. Olaf normally likes to go for these full clear starts.
We haven't talked much about top lane as the only other thing. This is a matchup where actually Battery just got a massive barrel up there and he gets a grasp proc. So I was just going to say this is a matchup where Gnar can do pretty well with the range advantage. But one thing with Gangplank is he's not a... Oh, again, big trade in return. So these top laners going constantly toe-to-toe. Gangplank is a champion who I always say is pseudo-range. Because yes, he's a melee, but the fact his Q is on such a short cooldown and gives him that extra range, he can trade heavily with ranged champions. And Only Angel has to be careful in this situation. It's going back and forth consistently with these grasp procs. Battery, if he gets his passive up, flash auto Q at this HP could end up being enough just to kill Only Angel.
Looks like he might just step forward to do so. Just goes in for the Q for the moment. Has those barrels to play with as well. One barrel. Could mean Only Angel gets in for a ward of hurt. He's going to back off now, Only Angel. Not willing to play with fire here for the moment.
Yeah, Battery coming out ahead, getting some really good trades off. And if he forces a TP here, we'll be in a really solid spot.
Nulty just waits for the wave to get pushed in before he heads down towards the crab. Wanted to go for an invade, but all those camps have currently been taken out by Softs, though. Not respawned quite yet. Both junglers done almost a full clear. Nulty hasn't taken his progs on the bot side.
The critical thing, he's able to pick up both Scuttle Crabs, and this is the advantage of the clear speed off Nulty. I think he must have picked up a little bit XP from mid lane as well, because he is level 4. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what happens if you walk up to the Rakan as a Poppy and pop W. Nothing. Especially when you don't have the cage to sort of offer some help. And we do see off camera, Flash actually burned from Battery, so we're just praising the pressure he managed to apply. But you can see the wave shoving for him. And ideally, what I would have wanted to see at this timing is Soft head topside and help him clear that, push that wave in to give him some safety.
Oh,
instead, Engage comes in.
Not going to be able to catch it out with Shogun this time. And Chu, low HP, gets ignited, gets
stun.
banged in, and that's going to be a kill. Soft now trying to find himself the opening, flashes over the cage. Yusa ducking and diving and dodging away, but he is low HP within the minions. The teleports are coming in, and Yusa is still alive. Soft takes him down. Chimera comes forward with a claw. That's going to be the flash wall bang, and Jeppe, who will fall to the tower. A 2-for-2 bot lane.
And Shogun was just a monster there, finding both kills with some great slams. But now Battery, no flash.
That's going to be the slam. The cleanse is going to come down as Battery takes the Satsuma, tries to heal himself up. Only Angel jumps forward. Battery getting chunked down low. The Chilling Smite is on, and that's going to be a kill for Nulty. MNM find another top.
And this is the downside. We saw a massive wave on Phelan's side in the top lane. Battery is forced to shove it in, which means he overextends with no flash. And this is the issue, is Soft clearly wanted to apply pressure bot lane, but they traded evenly in the bot lane. It was a 2-for-2. They also forced Chimera's TP, and then he wasn't there to assist Battery in the top lane. Battery was forced into a really unfortunate situation where he needed to shove the wave in. And so as a result, MNM come out ahead overall. And I think in the last fight, so they highlighted this matchup with the Rakan and the Poppy. It's actually surprisingly difficult to counter the W from Rakan.
Yeah, like you were saying.
Because you have that very short window. Again, once he's reached his destination, it's too late. Once he's reached his destination, the knockup's going to come in regardless. So you have to semi-predict it to be there in time. But despite not being able to find the window, Shogun did so much. He got the slam into the wall onto a Chu. He managed to push Jeppe under tower and get that kill as well. A really solid performance. And the big thing with the Poppies, like the Pike, you can displace someone into the walls of the Veigar cage.
As you can see, though, it's fairly hard when the Ezreal can just arcane shift over. Chibs goes for a trade, but the power of the aftershock on this Lissandra means it's just so hard.
Yeah, just no damage taken, essentially, in the trade, despite Chibs trying to use his ult, doesn't connect.
They got the wall bang, they've got that cage to work with. Jepehu caught inside the steadfast presence. He's low HP, goes in for the knockup, doesn't quite get it. And now Chibs and Nulty moving towards the bot lane. Jepe is going to get out scot-free, though.
It shows some of the dangers. Dealing with the cage and the steadfast presence from Poppy, you have to be really careful on this Rakan, because like I said, the timing, the cage coming in.
Betry will take a little bit of damage here. He does take a boulder toss to the head, and the Angel looking to run him down. One more boulder to go. And Shogun now jumping onto Jepehu. He's going to get caught inside. The cannon barrage is available. They're knocking
no
him
mana on Yusa.
Yusa has no mana. He gets Dragon Rage back here. Soft's trying to get that damage off in time, and that's going to be 2 kills. Easily picked up for Phelan bot side.
And MNM just overstepping. Now Nulty should get this dragon in time and get away. But yeah, Yusa and Shogun trying to force on a lane that it's very difficult to do so into the Rakan. And you can see there are windows to punish. You pop the steadfast presence so Jepe can't dash. You then get the cage down, he's locked in, but the problem was Yusa had no mana after that fight. He didn't have his ultimate available, he wasn't able to execute Jepe, and Soft turning up at a good time does help them out.
You can see Nulty and Chibs stepping forward here. The claw back by Chimera means he's just very safe on this Lissandra.
And this is why I like this pick for Chimera, because we saw Nulty Chibs put so much pressure down on the mid lane. We saw them constantly trying to find kills on the Malphite, but here on the Lissandra, you've seen it's so difficult to do so. There is that dash available. There is the aftershock to sort of reduce all the incoming damage. Chimera just feels comfortable to play this matchup pretty safely.
Looks like Soft is making some moves towards this part of the map. Chimera flashes forward. Chibs does have flash, and he's going to follow up.
Biscup coming out from Chimera, honestly, but at the end of the day, it's flash for flash. You could tell Chibs had a read on that because he decided to distortion away. But all in all, it's just a trade of summoners and these mid laners. And the thing is, both of them are pretty safe even without their flash. So not going to be the most impactful. But now, Yusa and Shogun potentially looking to dive here.
Cage has been used. Jepehu actually does get caught out for the moment, but that's going to be the Ragnarok. The interrupt comes out by Shogun. A knockup lands. That's already one picked up by Yusa. The tanking of the tower has been done by Shogun for the moment. Primordial Burst not available, but that's another kill gifted over to MNM. Nulty will survive the tower dive as well. And MNM get it for free.
It's a pretty sick dive coming out. You can see the power of the Poppy, so tanky, able to stop all the mobility. And now TP coming in.
Teleport's available, they're coming in. The plates have already been picked up. A Chu not going to get caught out by the ultimate. And now Yusa, he's just bailing out of there. Flash out by Shogun, and Chu takes some serious damage from the tower. Yusa is just running away. He's trying to catch the minion wave, trying to go for the execute. Yep. Well played there by Yusa to make sure he gets out. But actually,
look at what's happening on the top side, though. You see Chibs roaming up, but honestly, it feels like only Angel can get this himself. You might hand it over.
Get that grasp off for a little bit of damage here, but Mimic's not quite available to Chibs, but he's going to pick the kill up. Only Angel is the one to secure it.
And this is the problem, is I feel and go for a response play bot. They only get 1 kill compared to the 2 MNM picked up, and in return, it frees Chibs up to go top lane. This is Phelan trying to respond to what MNM are doing, but every time they do, they lose something on the other side of the map. And often, they don't even trade evenly.
Difference is let's have a look at where the kind of kill allocation is going here so far for the likes of MNM and Phelan, because you look at the Lee Sin, you look at the Lissandra, they're the ones with the kills, but MNM, a lot of the kills, a lot of the gold has already been gifted over to Shogun as well.
True, but at the end of the day, they are still managed to find these advantages. Plates being chipped down. There's 3 down in the top lane, 2 down in the bot lane. There's only 1 overall taken by Phelan. And honestly, I'm looking for this next big point where they're going to blow the game open. Getting the first tower is the sort of thing I expect to see MNM go for to snowball this one. Right now, they're keeping just normal lanes. Shogun's going to actually go for a pretty heavy roam. Feeling confident that there isn't really anything that can be offered by Jepe or a Chu to punish. Oh, but actually, that was a very nice ult. Not only is it spotted Shogun having roamed up, but it also spots the Herald. A ton of information from that by a Chu, but this might be a situation where they don't contest this because there's already 3 members.
Yusa has teleport as well. So even if they do try to move down, a Chu, no ultimate available, no teleport available. So Phelan Sending three members over, but this is a 4v3. Already, MNM are on to the tower, onto the Drake. The Gnar back, actually, as Soft is forced to flash away. Now, Jeppe, who he may just get caught out. Either Herald is going to get picked up by Nolty. And MNM picked that up. Maybe a little bit of a lapse of communication there. Shogun ulted a Nard member into the wall. But now they're coming in for the play onto him. Looking for the charm, looking for the knock-up. Shogun knocks him underneath the tower. He flashes away, tries to jump out, but Chimera picks him up with shards of ice, and Chib's being run down by everyone. Soft looking for the kick. Yusa is on that flank, uses the cage to try and catch them out. So Stun is going to connect, and now he's going to follow up for more. Jumps away for the moment. The Hextech Hosepipe gets used, and the Chew gets himself a kill. Bear Tree being run down in the top side of the map meanwhile, as the Hyper Procs are stacking up, and Nolty takes him down.
A good kill trade from MNM, but overall, Phelan found a lot there in return. They managed to take out Shogun, and then Chibs getting away costs Yusa his life. And we said the Thresh offers that extra layer of safety, that mobility over the Vigar. The Thresh not being here to support Yusa has cost him pretty heavily, being 1-4 in the early game. But overall, first tower does go down with the Herald.
Teleport flank. Chimera's getting caught out. Hasn't got that host pipe available, does use it. The claw back, and Chimera able to dodge away towards Jeppe to make sure he's alive.
Pretty hard to kill Alessandra, despite everything.
A lot used as well to keep him alive. Jeppe is on that flank, but Only Angel got first turret blood solo gold to himself, and he's actually done some serious pushing here towards the top side. Has almost taken that turret down for himself. With Soft and Jeppe on the flank still. Chibs looking for an assassination onto a Chew to double distortion into the chains, into the Sigil of Malice, and Chibs is looking for the kill. The level up by Chew kept him alive. How much health did he get out with there?
The level up and the Hex Drinker, literally so close. I saw that situation, I was like, what is the Chew doing? He got so lucky, but at the end of the day, it works, and now
on that flank, looking for the wall bang to send him back. Yusa has to flash away. The quickness will knock him up. In comes the ulti. In comes the double ulti to send them packing. Yusa goes golden. Soft trying to follow up, but he can't do so. And Nolty gets a shutdown. Shogun can't get over that wall in time. Phelan look for the play, but they get punished.
And it's so difficult to engage in this Poppy Vigar as a Rakan. You have to wait for such a long time. They're able to get in a tower, and now Only Angel, he's been menacing in this top side. Battery, you're just...
Beartree's into the wall, does have himself an orange to cleanse, and in comes Chimera. The True Shot Barrage clips onto both of them. Chimera jumps in, gets himself a stun off. Onto the moment. Doesn't have his ultimate available. Jeppe lands a one-man knockup. Cannon Barrage onto Nolty. He's burning down in the shutdown. We gift it over to Chimera. Now Only Angel has to do some serious kiting. He has no one coming to help him. The claw comes out. Chimera hot on his heels. The knockup comes down, and it's a double kill for Chimera.
Good punish coming out from Phelan, and we're seeing a lot more life in them this game. Chimera huge on this Lissandra, 5-0-0. Remember, there were buffs to the AP ratios in Lissandra, so there was a lot more kick. And in the team fights, if you can get those frozen thralls up, you will do work.
If you want a nice update on how much health Chew made it out with versus Chibs earlier, he actually got out with 7 HP.
Not even close.
Calculated, baby.
Overall, this game state for Phelan looking way better. Only 400 gold behind. You're seeing the Triforce completed for a Chew with the Hex Drink and the Tier. You're seeing a full Ludens and the workings of a Protobelt for Chimera. 5-0 on their mid laner, 3-2 on their AD carry.
Soft.
Phelan looking a lot more confident right now.
Chibs, no double distortion, no mimic available to him at all. Decides not to pull that trigger and try and do anything to Soft. Knowing the Dragon's Rage is available. True Shot Barrage. Just to push the wave out here for Phelan. Jeppe once again sits in blind at spot, looking for a flank.
And the big concern for me this game is last time round, we saw a lot more engaged tools for MNM. Here, they don't have the Thresh for the pick potential. They don't have the Kiana, who obviously can get huge ults off and just CC the whole team. They don't have the Kennen, who can go for those TP flanks. They're very reliant on the Mega Gnar. And if MNM fall behind here, I really don't feel as confident for them. Even though I said last game I wasn't confident they fell behind, I think it's even worse right now, and they are still ahead in gold. The Phelan definitely putting a lot of work in to make things difficult.
Oh,
that was a close one.
Very, very close there. But you are seeing why Phelan proved to be MNM's kryptonite a few times during the regular season.
Look at the goal difference between mid and AD carry. It's 1,800 between AD carries, 1,800 between mid laners. Chimera and Achu are so far ahead of their counterparts. And yes, Only Angel is massively ahead, but that's only relevant if he can join the team fights, which isn't always the case. And remember, against the Gangplank, his impact will always be felt sooner. With a Gnar, you want Mega before you're in a team fight realistically. Battery, you can just press R anytime.
Chips has a double distortion away from Chimera, but Soft already looking for an opening. Chains will connect into a Sigil just for a slight bit of burst, but the wave is getting pushed in here. And MNM unable to punish on the other side of the map. They actually do find themselves a bit of damage onto Jeppe. Interrupting him in a Primordial Burst will secure the kill. Yusa picks himself up one.
Just a massive mistake from Jeppe. You know that Soft just showed his face in the bot lane. This is a signal for MNM to go, look for the play. And still you overextend to try and take out the pink ward. It's either Jeppe just misplaying or a lack of communication, but something went wrong there.
Only Angel still split pushing away. Trying to go 1v1 versus Beartree here. Beartree literally is sitting on components for his Triforce. Hasn't even got his Stinger finished up yet. While Only Angel running that Black Cleaver. And the makings of his Spirit's Visage's ulti. Spots out Soft, gets a fair amount of damage on. Uses the Ragnarok early as the mid lane turret will finally fall. Hextech Hostpipe slows everybody down, and catching Chimera inside the cage means he's going to take a fair amount of damage. But Jeppe looking for the knock-up, gets wall-banged in. The claw comes forward. That's going to be the knock-up. A two-man pop-back by Shogun, and now Jeppe jumps in. They use the ulti, but look for Chibs on the flank. Look for Only Angel on the flank. Health bars for Phelan are a little bit low, and they back off. Don't overextend. Don't get punished by MNM.
Good moves from Phelan. They manage to lock down the targets, and they don't overstep. They found the perfect amount of damage to kill the Poppy, and they're happy with that one. But all in all, it was a mid tower going down in favor of MNM. So they still find the overall advantage. 1,000 gold up. But MNM are not looking as controlled as they were in game one. Definitely more life coming out from Phelan.
And every time we see MNM in this position, if you look at the top left of your screen, you'll see a Gnar. Only Angel always seems to be the one in these situations who just plays a split pushing game while the rest of the team buy time for him while he can pull them back. And so far you can see he's already been pushing onto inhibitor turrets in this top side of the map. It's only 18 minutes into the game. He is accelerating over Beartree.
My problem here is that Beartree is eventually going to get to the point where he can just one-shot the waves.
Yes.
And Only Angel hasn't invested into a split push build. He just picked up an adaptive helm. That is not a I'm going to try and split push as hard as I can and win. That is a I want to be tanky in team fights build. And that is my concern. And you look at the power spikes for Phelan. Look at mid lane and AD carry. So it choose just fully stacked his Mirror Mana. He has that Triforce as well and a Hex Drinker to boot. And then Chimera has the Proto Belt Loons combo, which is something you'll commonly see on champions like Sylas. Works excellently for the Lissandra. So Phelan right now, yes, they're still a little bit behind in gold. I'm feeling really confident on them in team fights, especially since Yusa knows Zonya's no stopwatch available.
Spooky Ghosts have come out. They're looking to catch a Chu. Shogun jumps forward. The cage doesn't catch anyone, but Chivs now launches in. That's a one-man knock-up onto one. Jeppe, who jumps out. The health bars are already low for MNM, and Chimera's on the flank. Catches out one with the ultimate. Only Angel does knocks him back into the water. 1-for-1 so far, but the health bars are still exceptionally low. True shot barrage just about clips in, and now a Chu hungry for blood. Beartree split pushing in the top lane. The cage comes out. Chimera jumps forward with the claw. Decides not to pull that trigger as the fight starts to settle down, but a Chu gets caught. He jumps in. He gets knocked down. The shutdown is picked up. That's another one. MNM come out on top. Chimera falls. Actually, no, he doesn't. He actually gets the kill onto Shogun, and Chimera's out of there.
Manages to get away. All in all, that was a very close fight. 3 for 3 on both sides. But the critical thing is Beartree didn't even join. His ult only just came up at the end when he used it. Phelan managed to trade evenly, and they got that top lane tower. So this is starting to get concerning for the side of MNM. And critically, Chimera didn't go down. And look at the bounty available on him. Now, that could have turned things definitely in the favor of MNM if they had managed to pick up that 700 gold bounty. But in the end, they didn't. And Phelan actually managed to pull ahead in the gold lead, but they should turn back around after Only Angel grabs his tower. And this game, more so than the last one, has been such a back and forth consistently. But we saw the amount of power. The fact that Phelan could go toe-to-toe in that team fight without even bringing Beartree in, without even having the ult instantly available. There's a lot of power there. Those power spikes they're on, those item breakpoints are definitely huge.
It's just 300 gold that separates these teams, though. Cloud Drake getting started up by Phelan, so it'll be the second one for them. Be nice for rotations around the map, and key thing to note, Beartree now has his teleport. Only Angel doesn't.
And the really important thing about Cloudrix here is the movement speed for Jeppe. Because Jeppe can no longer just W in. You see that every team fight, he pops his ult, Shogun pops his Steadfast Presence, and Jeppe just has to try and outpace him. The Cloud Dragon may actually be a massive difference maker here, because if you can close the gap on Shogun sooner, you can then charm him, you can then get the extra movement speed, you can then use your ult effectively around the team fight. And you, very aggressive
Yusa
there.
actually gets caught out. The knockup's there. The full CC chain. Yusa tries to turn it around with a slow. The primordial burst is not enough as he gets sniped by a Jaw in the backline. But now Nolty, he's going down. It's a double kill for a Chew.
Oh, but Chimera might be in trouble here.
Chips, double distortion
Oh,
forward.
root is at the wrong time.
That's the shutdown. $1,000 in the back pocket of Chips. And now Soft looking to hunt him down. Misses out on the Q. Shogun is able to hold his life for the moment as the barrel chain isn't quite enough to connect. And only Angel about to gnaw out.
Chu went so aggressive there, but it actually works out for them. But all in all, they trade 2 for 2. And because they lost the bounty from Chimera, it's actually a big win for MNM. They're going to try and take this mid lane tower to compensate.
Here comes
but
the Angel, gets himself the knockback. He's low HP, has to flash away. Steadfast Presence already been used. Chains are on. Knock up as he gets bopped back up. Chips can't join the fight right now, and that's going to be one. Already picked up a Bear Tree. Health buzz still low, and Yusa is on the flank. In comes the slows. In comes the damage. Down goes the cage, and down goes Chips. Another shutdown for Achu. He is ignited, and that will be a shutdown for him. Now Bear Tree has the help of Jeppe, has the help of the barrels, but not going to connect it quite yet. Yusa throws out a cage here for the moment. Nolty going to try and pin him in place. He gets the knock up onto 2 for the moment. The barrel's being placed out for the moment, and Phelan are still fighting MNM for this tower. Chimera has respawned and joined the fray. MNM settle down and back off.
What a bloodthirsty fight. Neither team willing to give it up. Both looking to just push the limits and keep looking for these opportunities to trade. I feel like overall, Phelan just came out ahead in that one, but it was definitely closer. Chu looking so much better on this Ezreal than he did in the Xayah. That extra mobility. And normally I think that's extra safety, not for a Chu. It's an opportunity for him to go aggressive and constantly look for these fights. And Jeppe, despite having the cage, despite having the Steadfast Presence to go up against, he's finding windows to be so effective in this Rakan.
Wow. 23 minutes into the game. Phelan still unable to crack this tower. That's the key thing here. They've been trying to crack it for a while. Nolty taking some serious damage from Achu here. Yusa joins back up with his team. He's now got the tools. Seeker's Arm Guard. He wants to get that Zhonya's finished up so he can survive the burst of the likes of Chimera. Survive some of the damage available as he throws down the Ghost, looking for Jeppe. Has got a cage available, but not going to use it quite yet. Just wants to push this wave out here for the moment for himself. Let's see how much bonus AP Yusa's been able to pick up from the passive so far. 25 minutes. See how well he is doing currently.
The thing with these bloodthirsty games, you actually get quite a lot because you get 5 AP from a takedown. So he's actually getting an extra 45 AP just from his kills and assists, which is obviously pretty significant. But in terms of farming, I mean, he's actually been able to keep up pretty well in CS, but it does tend to suffer when you're constantly fighting and you are essentially A-ramming a little bit, bringing all 5 members mid. And Chu
does try to jump underneath the tower. Takes a fair amount of damage, but Jeppe is on that flank. They're looking for Yusa. Yusa has to flash away, but he gets knocked up. Jeppe who picks him up. Cannon Barrage comes down just to send a message.
Yeah, really nice play from Jeppe. He waits for the flash on Yusa before using his W. Ends up catching him out, and Phelan's just applying the pressure. Chu so confident on this Ezreal, so confident to walk up and apply the poke damage. And this is one of the issues with the Veigar. You are a short-range carry. Compared to an Ezreal, you can get poked out without being in range.
Oh, Ragnarok gets used there to make sure he stays alive, but it's just health for Nolty. Chips comes in, double distortion, instant CC chain, and Sup follows him up for the pickup. Now the Frozen Fools might do some bit of work here for MNM.
That time, Chimera was on point with the root. Before, when he went down for the 700 bounty, he didn't quite get it in time, but there, he roots Chibs. No cleanse available. Chibs locked down. There's a very squishy LeBlanc at the end of the day. And now, they start up the Baron. Chibs is still down, but Yusa and Nolty are running over, but the fight started.
Only Angel does have Gnar, uses it onto 2. Bear Tree lands himself a barrel for the moment, and that would just be the end of Only Angel. Sacrifices himself for the greater good. Shogun does get slown out. The spooky ghosts have been placed, and now MNM need to try and contest. 3 versus 5 on the Baron pit. The Baron will do a bit of work here for the moment. Yusa, Primordial Burst is available to him. 7,000 health left on the Baron for the moment. Chimera throws out the claw, tries to get caught out for the moment. They do try and get the knock-up. Yusa's still alive. He gets followed up. The double man knock-up comes through.
Yusa's
and that's going to
down.
be another one. Yusa has already been picked up. A 2 has been sent packing. Shogun is next to fall. And Phelan turned back to the purple worm. Chibs is now next up to try and contest.
He's got to make a hero play here, or Phelan will just get the Baron. The team fighting's been stellar this time round. It's so scary.
Only
Chibs
Angel
gets
has
rid of these
teleport.
down.
There's a flank available if he wants to go for it. I don't think MNM want to give any more kills over to the Phelan kill grinder that is the Baron pit. As Only Angel steps back towards the spot side of the map, they finally reset. But the end of that, end of the contest, Phelan pull ahead massively over MNM.
And this is the difference makers. Phelan have so much easy engage in their composition, which is what MNM lacks. So when they start up the Baron there, they can very quickly turn off and instantly look to capitalize. And you see this time and time again because Phelan, they know there's a big risk going with this Baron. There's 2 members right here, so they wait for an opportunity to go for the engage, and it's just easy follow-up. Chimera instantly over the wall. The Lee Sin can follow. There's no way you get out. And then it's just clockwork. You go back to it. Once again, you start up that Baron. And once again, they'd have to come and contest. It's inevitable. But the mobility once again there, and this time it's Chimera. The range on that claw is so hard to deal with.
I mean, Yusa places the claw, the cage, not where the claw ends, so Chimera's free to get the W off for free, and then it's just instant follow-up for the rest of the team.
It's just a hard situation to play because no one there had the mobility. Almost everyone, bar the Gangplank, has mobility on the side of Phelan, so in terms of gap closers, you're just always going to have that advantage.
Blows come down by Yusa, but it's going to use the cage for the moment. Beartree's actually going to use the cannon barrage. Tries to use the barrels for the moment. He's already low. Sterix is going to get procced, and Nolty picks himself a kill up onto the GP. So that's removing Baron off one of the side lanes here for the moment. But already you can see a lot of damage has been dealt to Chibs, and he's going to have to distortion over the wall. The poke from a Chu is just proving to be too much for him for the moment. Soft. Jumps in, gets the kick back. That's going to be the insect. Nice and simple. Teleport comes in as well. Jeppe is going to get gnarred back, but the knockup follows through. Only Angel jumps over the wall, but Soft looks to follow up. Only Angel gets a wallop onto 2. He's low health bar. About to lose Mega. And Soft picks him up nice and simple. Phelan playing so well in game 2 of this series.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great play coming out from Phelan, but what was Yusa doing? He had his Zhonya's in his inventory. It's not like Soft had an instantaneous kick. There was a lot of delay. Yusa doesn't react in time, and Phelan, they are taking control of this game. This is looking to be a series. Question is, can they end now?
Can they end now? Indeed. Yusa's up in 8 seconds time. They look to jump away for the moment. Redemption's going to get used. Send one pack in. It's now 4v5. One turret is going to go down. Yusa has respawned. He's moving in. Throws out the spooky ghost. Throws out the cage. Doesn't catch anyone within it. The barrels have been placed. Not going to catch anyone for the moment. Shogun, low HP, has to head back to the fountain to heal for the moment. They've still got Baron for 50 seconds here, and they're looking to walk this wave in forward. Chibs jumps forward, jumps out. The claw doesn't get taken for the moment. The cannon barrage has been sent packing for the moment. They use the cage to try and catch people out. That's one already picked up for MNM. In comes Chibs. They've got themselves the damage to get onto Chibs, though. Jeppe jumps away. The cage, once again, doesn't find its mark as the barrel's going to go a little bit wide. The slows do connect, and now Chimera's getting run down. Forced to use the ultimate on himself. Frozen Tomb. He's healing back up. The cage is going to get used again, but it doesn't catch onto anyone. The wallop is there. Jeppe's jumping out. The health bars for Phelan are just so low. But MNM don't have the tools available to give them a life. And now a Chu is going to force the GA out. Look at the flank though. Beartree's coming in. The knock comes back. That's going to be one picked up for MNM. Their Nexus stands, but the towers are all but gone.
And we've seen this before against MNM. Enclave tried the same thing to go for the end. They overstayed, and MNM punished. Honestly, Phelan should have just backed off. They'd already taken the inhibitor. They'd already done a ton of work. They could have even backed off after taking one Nexus tower, but they get greedy. They overstep. They give a bunch of gold back over to MNM, and yes, they're still massively ahead. They still have control of the game, but these are unnecessary risks, and MNM, they've been given a time to breathe at this point because Phelan went so aggressive there.
Nolty just trying to do everything in his power to keep himself in this game. Sterix GA available to him. So many defensive tools. The GA has now been burnt. And with a Chu spawning up in 4 seconds, a third Cloud Drake gifted over to Phelan. They're going to be some speedy boys. They might just look to run it into MNM's base and close this out and force it to game 3.
I mean, the big thing is Baron in a minute 30. We saw how strong Phelan were. Starting at the Baron, then rotating off. Look at the summoner spells. Chimera's flash is up in a few seconds, as is Jeppe. It's going to be very hard to contest this Baron Nashor for MNM, but they need to if they want to stay in this game.
And contesting was what kind of cost MNM so much, but last time it was 1 by 1. This time, if they try and get the 5-on-5 with the help of Baron, maybe they can put the brakes on this game. It's Phelan. They don't want any of that. They're going to teleport in, get vision control of the area, and look to catch out MNM in rotation for the contest. True Shot Barrage is going to get sent down that top side of the map, and now MNM are where a couple of members are.
Big concern is just the damage potential. There's so much more from Phelan. You look at the likes of this Ezreal, he's got a full Morph multi-Sonic QSS. It makes Chib's life so hard to kill him. And without the LeBlanc, really, there's not a ton of damage on this MNM comp going the later stages. Olaf is going to fall off, if he hasn't already. Yusa has a lot, but he's never going to be in range of the high priority targets in most situations unless they're killing him.
Chimera's on the flank. He's going to use that claw. Doesn't follow it as the cage goes down. Could have spelt the demise of him there. Steps away. MNM just force this wave up in the mid lane. This is the wave of the supers. You can see Bear Tree has started to work a small wave down towards the top side of the map as well. And MNM just slowly moving forward, trying to catch every ward they can. Try and just alleviate some of the pressure. True Shot Barrage connects onto Yusa. That means he's going to take a lot of damage here. Has got the host bite. The Cannon Barrage is coming forward. That's going to be the cage. Jeppe jumps into the back line. Look at the ulti from Chimera. Eminem's health bars are just liquefying through. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. Only Angel's going to fall. 4 members of Eminem are down. Nulty has to flash away. His Nexus is exposed. His team are in the grey screen. And Phelan are going to push it to game 3.
Phelan bite back in this game too. They come in strong. They have the confidence to take these team fights. The team play was so stellar around that Baron. They knew exactly what their win condition was. They looked to start it up. They are able to engage off the back of it and find key members. And we talked about one of the issues with these mages in the bot lane is that they're immobile. They're not safe. And we saw Phelan finally manage to capitalize on that. Yusa honestly just wasn't able to find any place in the team fight where he could stand and do anything. It was constantly them looking for him. We saw that at the end. Even getting the cage down and trying to disrupt the engage was not enough.
Well, running towards the finals and Phelan, name a more iconic duo. We have game 3 of the series, so after the break, we're back with game 3, so don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a second.